Everybody to the PIC Connection podcast. We're here with our president, CEO, Tim Jurgensen. It's kind of a sad day, I think, here at Private Industry Council because your last day is Friday, Tim.
That's it.
You know, after.
Kick the old man to the curb.
That's
on
what.
Friday.
Yeah, and then we'll all have to go back to work, right? Right? Yeah, no, okay. So it's kind of, I guess I call it a special edition show here, kind of just, we got the timelines here of Private Industry Council, and we're going to kind of go through it and introduce Colin over here too.
Hello, everyone.
Colin, tell everybody what you do here at PIC.
Instructional technology supervisor here at Private Industry Council, kind of responsible for the implementation of technology in early childhood and professional development in the workplace. But,
yeah.
It's impressive.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's a long title. Who gave you that title? Huh?
Yeah. You put that all on your business card? Cool.
But I think at some point we'll probably get into it as we try to, unpack all the things that you've done here at PIC. But, we were talking about this kind of when we were prepping for the show, just how far the organization's come technology-wise, since 1983, to the point where we actually have somebody like Colin on staff, going out to all the Head Start teaching classrooms and, educating the teachers and everybody on how to use technology in the classroom. And,
I can brag about Colin a little bit.
Yeah.
We
got my segment.
Colin came about because in 2015 we built a lawn furnace down in Uniontown. And what a fabulous facility. It was a $4 million project and brought building to Uniontown, Pennsylvania, where we got national attention for it. Where in the country could mom bring your kid to Head Start, go upstairs, get education, training, and get a job? And
right.
Nowhere else but Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
That's it.
County. So if you want to be a leader in early childhood education, this is where you want to come because we're trend setting down here in Fayette County. We're doing a lot of great things. Well, anyway, so we open this building and we're going to have this open house and invite the community in to tour the facility for the first time. And we've got these fabulous technology boards, touch screens in every classroom for these preschoolers. And maybe in 2015, you were seeing some of that in elementary schools, but definitely not in preschool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm up behind a microphone and I'm making this presentation to a couple hundred people in the parking lot, and they're listening to all this, and it's kind of just hitting me. Wait a minute. It's like, I got these 5 classrooms with all this technology capability for Head Start at Lamont Furnace. I got to have it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I have Head Start in Fayette County. I have Head Start in Beaver County. I got like 50 classrooms.
Pre-K classrooms.
I can't just have it at Lamont Furnace. I can't have mom going home saying, well, I'm in Brownsville, but I better get my kid over to Lamont Furnace so he gets the best education. So out of that meeting came the commitment that we had to find Colin, which we did. And his job, basically, as I said to him, was to make sure that all these teachers for Head Start, whether they were in tune with technology or not, would be able to deliver the same quality product. And he does a fabulous job every day and goes around and making sure that it doesn't matter what classroom your child's in Beaver or whether they're in Lamont Furnace or somewhere else in Fayette County. We've got, pre-K counts classrooms at Shaler
right.
and Penn Hills and Southmoreland and Westmoreland County, that these folks are getting the same quality education, the same access to some of this early childhood technology. So when they're making a transition to kindergarten to first grade, what I always said was our children have a chance to compete.
Right.
Because I always talk about, my niece in particular, Bria, who's 11 now, and, I always said we have enough resources in our family to make sure Bria has all the technology she needs to be able to make sure she can be successful in school. Unfortunately, not all of our Head Start parents have those resources. It's our job to make sure we can bring those resources and bring those opportunities to our kids. So again, they can compete when they're being asked to do things.
Sure. Yeah. Definitely kind of think like it goes back to, you know, why you got into early childhood in the first place. You know, like, just going back to some stories that, you know, we've had back and forth and, you know, you were constantly asked, like, why are you going into early childhood? Like, that's not workforce, that's not job development. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. People said that to us, you know, private industry council, that's your corporate name. You're helping with employment and training programs, workforce development programs.
Right.
And what's Head Start do in early childhood. And that's what we said. We wanted to help holistic family prior to, we got into Head Start in 1994 in Fayette County. And we were helping the parents in workforce and that's adult education training and that. And so it just made sense to help the entire family. And really, the other aspect of it that I always said is when you look at those young preschoolers today, that's your workforce 20 years from now.
Right.
So if we give them a good foundation, good education, they love what they're doing, they love to go to school, they love to learn, they want to be successful, and let's help them be successful, let's help them stay in school and go out and get a good job, make a lot of money.
Definitely.
And then we also help them give back to the community. So our goal is not to just help kids become successful, but also be successful and remain in the community and help
The whole family, really.
people,
Yeah.
and also help you.
It's funny that we're talking about this because they had the virtual symposium yesterday at Pennsylvania Workforce Development Association, and one of the key, you know, themes of the whole symposium, you know, they had a lot of different experts on there speaking, was childcare is the biggest barrier. Childcare is the biggest barrier. You know, and it was kind of COVID-19, you know, maybe tilted a little bit in that regard. But, and I've said this, you've heard me say this on the podcast before, I love how comprehensive all the services is that we offer here at PIC. Because if you're going to do workforce development and you're going to be training people and you're going to be getting people jobs, well, you got to have that child care component to kind of go along with it. So why wouldn't we be in early childhood is really the better question to be asking a workforce development agency, because that is the number one barrier with families, you know, and if they're too young to be in school, then you know, someone's got to watch them. And if they don't have that maybe like support system or, you know, family member or friend or neighbor or whatever, then that's a major expense. You know, I think I saw one of the stats they had on the symposium was it's like $600 or $700 a week for just like straight up daycare, you know, and that's, you know, I mean, it can be up to that amount. You know, I'm sure there's obviously lower amounts that you can do, but you're talking about up to $1,000, $2,000 a month. You know, so if you have somebody that's even only working part-time, that's their whole paycheck just doing childcare. So that's why I take so much pride in what we do here.
Yeah, that's excellent. We, you know, again, work so much, so hard with the local businesses, a lot of small businesses. And that's why I say this is your workforce 20 years from now, because, you know, I really reach out to the businesses and say to them, you know, if you want to make the contribution, if you want to open the wallet, you want to write a check and support the early childhood education programs, because that's what you need to make sure that we have the workforce available to have successful businesses in the future.
Yeah, definitely. So we kind of just went like right into early childhood there, but maybe we'll work backwards off this timeline here, because you know, we were talking about the building that you did in Lamont Furnace. You want to talk about this building at all? I know we expanded it, and I think, what is it, 2012?
That's right. Here, I mean, we built it. When I came in as president and CEO 21 years ago, we were downtown Greensburg on South Main Street. We were an old food land building and paying rent. And we were able to, you know, again, with the support of the, greatest board of directors anybody could ask to have. I mean, this PIC board has been fantastic to work for. They're open, they're supportive, they get things done. And so you can't thank them enough. And in 2004, we built a building that we're in here providing this message today. And we were able to come out here behind, on Donahoe Road, behind People's Gas, behind Clearview School. Gave the community free parking. You didn't have to fight for parking. You had a school here. We have our private licensed school, which is Education and Technology Institute. So it gave those students an opportunity to have more of a campus type feel to where they were coming to school. And it's really worked out. It's been great ride, a great opportunity where we've helped, I would say, in my tenure, well over hundreds of thousands of people, with either in workforce development or
directly or indirectly.
Right.
And, yeah. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's incredible. You go through the history and, we were talking about how private industry councils came to be in the beginning, and then it's just kind of funny how they've transformed. But kind of sticking with our theme here, working backwards. I keep accidentally jumping to the end, but maybe talk about Beaver County now that the name's Private Industry Council of Westmoreland Fayette, but obviously we work out of more counties than just Westmoreland Fayette. We had the good news, like literally walking back down here about Dad's Matter grants. And they were in Washington County, and they're looking to move into Beaver now with this new grant. So great news, I thought it was fitting that happened today.
Well, and again, unfortunately, in this industry, it seems like it always takes it down to the last minute before you get, notice on something. Our Dad's Matter grant, or Fatherhood, Responsible Fatherhood Initiative, is a 5-year project. I think we were talking yesterday that we received the first one in like 2007.
Yeah.
And then it went for 5 years, and we kind of lost it, and then gained it back here in 2015. And it was done on September 29th, yesterday. That 5 years was up. So they told us finally today, about half an hour ago, that we got a new 5-year project that we continue. And you got 8 or 9 staff that, very happy and celebrating today, but it's unfortunate that the way the industry is and the way the systems work with grants, that these people are kind of held in limbo all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Because people have to understand that, staff, wants to know, where's my next paycheck coming from? What am I going to do next week if I don't get this grant renewed? And those kind of things. So it is a, happy day around here. Very appreciative to the federal government and Health and Human Services for allowing us to continue the great work that we're doing in the Fatherhood Initiative. And again, one of the things that when we went after this the first time, people would say, there's programs out there for women, there's programs out there for children, but you never hear of programs for fathers. And I see you have your Private Industry Council shirt on. I do, yeah. And so does Colin.
Yeah.
I like to wear the Dad's Matter shirt because you get a lot of questions in the community.
I think last time we had you on, you had the Dad's Matter shirt on.
Yeah, it's real good stuff. And the other thing I wanted to mention, you talked about, going to Beaver in 2013 for Head Start.
Right.
Well, we had, if I can back up a little bit, in Head Start in Fayette County, I think 2010, Governor Rendell nominated us for a national award in Head Start and for Fayette County, and we were recognized as a center of excellence, one of 10 Head Starts in the country.
In the country, yeah.
For Fayette County, Pennsylvania, one of 10 in the country, National Center of Excellence. I think that had a lot to do with when time came in 2013 Beaver County Head Start was having some mismanagement problems up there. And the folks from the federal government were calling and they were saying, hey, can you take a look at this grant and see if this is something that you can do? And boy, I didn't know a whole lot about Beaver County, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But,
opposite corner to us if you're looking at a map.
Yeah, I mean, okay, they're not asking somebody else, they're asking you.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta go up there and you gotta find out what's going on. And my God, you go up there and you see the young children and they need your help and, so there's no way you can say no. I
Right.
mean, you look at the kids and you gotta help them. And we've done, I think, a fantastic job for 7 years up there and still have some things we want to do better. But, again, our goal is that it would also be a center of excellence in Beaver County. We're well on our way toward that.
So that was 2013 we went to Beaver, and then it was 1994 we started Fayette County.
That's
right. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's been quite a stretch for Head Start management. I'm not as familiar with the pre-K. How far does that go back?
Yeah, about 10 years.
About 10
I think
years,
around
okay.
2010 too, as Rendell was in office, and Governor Rendell was the one that added early childhood education to the state budget. He's done that with Head Start state supplemental grants,
Okay.
and he's also created the state program, which he called Pre-K Counts.
Mm-hmm.
And the succeeding governors have kept that program alive, and it's grown over the years as we move forward. Again, from what we've been talking about, because I think people do realize the importance and the necessary to early childhood education.
100%.
I mean, I was a product of, Fayette County Head Start, and, I definitely, I'd say I was up there with, the upper achieving or higher achieving kids in elementary school, so.
Yeah, we were really excited about it. I mean, Colin, I think we did mention last time I was here, that it made the front of our annual report that we published here in June. Picture of him getting on the school bus, so many years ago.
When he was 5 or 4.
Yeah,
Four, yeah.
Real neat success story. I mean, we have a number of success stories like that where Head Start children have gone on to very successful careers, and we're very proud of that. And it's so true that we have enjoyed that. I can remember again a few years back in concert with the Uniontown School District. I think they had contacted our Fayette office and they said, listen, we did a pre-kindergarten assessment test that we just wanted to let you know of the top 10 scores we got from the children entering kindergarten. 7 out of 10 were Head Start children. And that gives us positive feedback that we're doing some good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, then that's just a testament, to really, the program at large, across the country, but also just the way that we've been able to kind of grow the program and really truly give those, children in the program a head start. It's not just rhetoric and, not just the name of the program, but, that's the idea. So.
We are responsible for 1,700 preschoolers every day.
Yeah.
We take that very seriously. And the number one aspect that I tell my staff all the time is keep them safe.
Right.
I mean, we want to educate them. We want them to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
We want them to love school, but we got to keep them safe. Mom and Dad have to be comfortable.
Right.
We're the folks that are taking care of them.
And I'll talk about the after school program a little bit here too, because it's really the same type of thinking, make sure you keep them safe. I think we started doing after school programs. I should have the timeline memorized, but that,
2001, I think.
I was going to say, we've had it for about 20 years now, was going to be my guess. And that was always kind of the theme, having, we're mostly in elementary and middle schools with that after school program, although we do have Menneson High School as part of the program currently. But that's the same thing, between those hours of 3 and 5 or 3 and 6, when they get out of school, have a nice, safe environment for them, and give them an opportunity to, maybe it's just a little extra remedial help, but it's also, we do these STEM activities with them now, and kind of actually built like a whole new curriculum about the after school program. So it's a really cool initiative. I enjoy doing it. I get to substitute teach every now and again, and go down and see the kids in person and everything. So
And for me, it's another example where I think we answered the need in the community.
absolutely, yeah,
I would say in 2001, 2002, how we got into after-school program. They called me at Fayette Head Start. Ronnie Nails was the county commissioner. He was over at our Uniontown facility reading the children. I'm going to say it's in the month of April, because April is read to your child.
I was gonna say it's a good memory there.
Yeah, they called me and they said, Commissioner Nelsville. I said, okay, I'm gonna come down and thank him for taking time off to read a book to the children. So by the time I got down there, he was done reading, but I met him out on the back ramp, and he was telling me that he had met this fellow, Dr. Sheffield,
Right.
Had this program called TAME up in Beaver County. He was doing character education. He felt that we had such a need in Fayette County. We're trying to develop character education amongst our young people. And I kind of said, "Why don't you, the commissioner, call me?" So we called a meeting over at Penn State. Dr. Gray was the campus exec at Penn State Fayette campus, and all the superintendents there. Dr. Sheffield come down, made his presentation. Everybody fell in love with it. So we got the 21st Century Community Learning Center program out of Harrisburg to fund the project. I think we were doing after school in Brownsville, Rural Highlands, and Uniontown. And as Alex stated, these projects generally go for 3-year stints. So we're on like probably 10.
Yeah.
And we've moved around amongst different schools, but again, it's helping these kids not just staying out of trouble, if I could say it that way.
Yeah.
But actually trying to accomplish some things in the after school with STEM initiatives.
Yeah.
And
that's a program that's open to everybody. It's not, you don't have to qualify like some of the other programs that we offer do. It's everybody open to in that site. So.
Yeah, and I wanted to go back to Beaver a little bit because when we went up to Beaver and took over the Head Start program in 2013 and sat down and met with all the superintendents and kind of said to them, hey, I'm going to try to bring other resources to this county because that's the way we kind of operate. We brought the after school program to help with into the right. I think it lasted 6 years.
Yeah, we did the whole 6 years. That just wrapped up this summer. So I think, Colin, you did some teaching for the after school program this summer, didn't you?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah.
Covering, but,
trying to plug you there a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it's wonderful, like, what's going on with the after school program. And, just bringing, like you said, that you don't have to qualify, you don't have to meet some sort of restriction or stigma, but no, bringing like STEM education to it, that's big stuff. That's kind of like the way the world's like going towards. You were starting to see like this trend in like school districts that are implementing like STEM education.
Absolutely, yeah. You did some like coding classes, right? There was like basic coding for kids, which I thought was really like ahead of the curve,
I picked it up in college, whenever I went for technology education, which is kind of like grandfathered into STEM education.
Right.
But, it was Scratch Coding. It's a coding program that's offered by MIT. It's developed by their graduates, and it's free for educators and for kids.
It's a great resource.
Oh yeah.
And what else we had brought down was the Pennsylvania STEM Initiative.
Right.
$433,000 for them to work on STEM education. And again, I get to be more braggart about them than I think other projects in the state of Pennsylvania. We get on these calls and we get into these best practices, not to downplay what other people are doing in the state of Pennsylvania with STEM money, but there tend to be projects to me. And these, which I call champions in Aliquippa, the school district out there, under Dr. Carbone's leadership, has got together and really instituted systemic change with STEM. They built it into their curriculum, both in the elementary level and also at the high school level. So, kudos to them for what they're doing. And, we get to play the piece of just trying to be able to bring resources to what they can do.
Yeah, that was a great relationship. I was kind of going up and back and forth there a little bit, and saw the classroom and saw the kids and met with the teachers and the principals and kind of saw it all in action. But I agree. The other projects, it didn't seem like they were school district wide like what we did in Aliquippa. It was every single student in the elementary school would do like a 40-minute rotation of the curriculum that we brought up there with the classroom and the technology that we built. And then when they got older into the high school level, it was an elective class. So they kind of had a tech ed type of class going on. But then they took the resources from this grant to really take it to that extra level and do the 3D printing and do some of the different, extra activities that you might not have done in a traditional tech ed class. We were joking with the Quip burgers. They had a laser engraver and they actually had hamburger buns and they were like doing the logo on the bun and everything like that. It was just letting kids kind of explore and kind of see, all the different things that you can do with the machines, and that's kind of what you want, I think, at that level.
And get a feel for some of the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's a neat aspect of it.
So you want to talk about maybe how the Head Start program came in Beaver? You kind of mentioned it, how they called us, but it was a little bit of we had to compete.
Yeah, we had to compete. I mean, I was asked to kind of look at it. So we did that. We put a competition in. But one of the things that, that I do is I always say that Head Start is a community grassroots organization. So you have to be part of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Tammy Ozago, which is our Head Start director up there, she does a fabulous job. And, she was working down here in Westmoreland at the time. She said, I'd really like to apply for that job. And I said, you got to move. I said,
it's a good hour and a half from us.
I said, because I can't have a Head Start director. It
doesn't live in the
county. It has to live in the community, has to be part of the community. And we've done that. I went up, I met with the local officials, the county commissioners, assured them this wasn't going to be some outside group running Head Start in Beaver County. This is going to be run by Beaver County residents.
Mm-hmm.
We've done that. We've hired Beaver County residents. We've got about 90 folks working for us up there in Beaver, and they're maybe 90-some% are Beaver County residents. And as I say, they would be 100% if we could get the skills and the people to apply for these jobs. We have job openings for early childhood education teachers. I mean, people that you are interested in teaching.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can surely talk. You should, contact private industry council and find out where best we can help you and you can help us. And so, like I said, we sat down and did that. We went up there. We were awarded the grant. We went up and we had to interview all these people and try to get this program up and running in a few months.
A lot of work.
Went out again and called on the community.
Right.
Because, it kind of got some feedback that the community was kind of made. They're like, you're going to let us sit at the table and make a decision on who gets a job to teach at this time? Absolutely. Because, again, it's a community organization, and we need the community to be successful, and the community has helped us be successful, and especially the school districts. They learn a lot of their elementary buildings, and right now, Alec mentioned about the COVID, so it's a real interesting time that we have to kind of work with each individual district on their goals and their plans and how they want to deliver education services. So we have more than just a hybrid plan because we're changing per district based on what these folks want to do. Because again, I think we're dealing with what's going to be their kindergarten, their first grader coming in. So we want to prepare them so that they can be successful at New Brighton or Aliquippa, or Beaver Falls or Rochester or whatever, Freedom, whatever that may be. And again, I think we're doing that and can't thank the districts enough for everything they've done for us to make this work.
I have to say, what a challenge for your last year, for COVID. I forget when you announced, exactly when you were saying, stepping down.
It was June, wasn't it? June, July?
I was going to go in October. Yeah. Well, I had pretty much decided, in my mind of planning for myself in February. I don't think I announced it until maybe April.
Yeah.
But
it was like right when COVID was hitting.
Middle of March.
Which I thought was funny because
that Friday 13th or whatever it was.
Yeah,
you got to send everybody home.
Yeah, and how many COVID plans did we go through in that first 2 weeks alone? It seemed like
I think we got out to Baker's Dozen on the first day.
On the first day,
It was like we kept okay. Now this is the new change in state policy, which changed our plan.
Constantly going
and it still is. I mean, there's constantly trying to get people back to work, and because the people that we serve need us back to work.
Right.
And we've done it. I think our staff has done fantastic working remotely from home, but I don't think anybody would disagree with, even though you're accomplishing a lot from your house, you're not as efficient or as effective.
Yeah.
You might not have all the resources and tools right.
Yeah, and we tried to do that. I mean, we went out.
Trainers and laptops.
Staff was saying, I need laptops. We're going out there. Just so people remember, they were going to the grocery store and saying, I can't find paper towels. We couldn't find laptops.
We couldn't find laptops,
It was like
Wi-Fi hotspots. And
now the whole country's now teleworking. And all those things laptops.
It was the same thing like the toilet paper and paper towels,
Everyone
was rushing to the store to get that. School districts and other businesses were rushing out to get laptops.
Mm-hmm. And Zoom subscriptions.
Everyone's kind of got familiar with
it. We've said it before, as kind of maybe like a silver lining. All of this has made people a little bit more comfortable with using
the
computer, Zoom, even just even using maybe a remote access to get into a filing system or something like that. And I don't want to say we were having a hard time transitioning to that, but we had Zoom well before COVID happened, and doing our best to integrate that into our programs. And maybe it wasn't happening as quickly as I know you would like to, because I was at some of those meetings. But COVID definitely prompted. Now it's like we have all these workshops at the Career Link that are virtual. We're doing eligibility virtually. Even now, we have how many virtual meetings going on? It seems like a day. So.
That's so correct, and that's what we talked yesterday. I think for yourself and Colin too. Both young people and looking to build on your careers, and I think you need to think about what's these programs that we're offering. What are they going to look like? How are they going to be delivered? What's the service delivery going to look like? Come 5 years from now, 2020, 25 maybe, with this onslaught of technology and all this virtual stuff, and try to start doing those kind of things now. We've always been a trendsetter at the Private Industry Council on being out in front, leading the state on different initiatives. People from the state have always kind of looked at West Wilmington Fayette and said, let's go down and see what those guys are doing for best practices, and we can copy them. And I think this COVID kind of opens the door to that kind of thinking and say, hey, we can develop some system here to better serve the public where they don't have to necessarily rely on brick and mortar buildings to have to get to. I mean, as you mentioned, childcare is a big drawback for employment barrier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so this is why maybe we can come up with better mousetrap, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, we have 3 career links throughout Westmoreland and Fayette. We have one in New Kensington, one in Youngwood, and then, the Lamont Furnace building near Uniontown. But it's a wide area. Everyone talks about how big Westmoreland County is, and but Fayette's just as large and more rural too. So getting, that was always sort of the trick. I think Uniontown was kind of nice because at least it was like centralized to the county. But I know in Westmoreland we always had, you kind of have the arms that go down to Menneson and Lamont, or not to New Kensington, and then you go all the way out to Ligonier and New Florence, where actually we have an after school program in New Florence. And sometimes it feels like you're on the other side of the state when you're driving all the way across the county there. So then, if you're going to have an earned client, or you're going to have somebody that's going to do a training program with us, it's a good half an hour, 45-minute drive. So now that you can offer these virtual learning programs, kind of to your point, Tim, looking into that crystal ball and saying, hey, how's this going to be 20 years? And, maybe we're going to have like 10 more Collins on staff here, so,
kind of
adapt.
set the stage for what it should look like and what the need would be in the community, what people would want.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, you had mentioned about like the competing for the grant. It's a pretty competitive field we're in. Competing for these
very competitive. And,
yeah. If we start to grow and continue on this path, we're definitely going to need to bring on more staff and make sure that everyone knows how to.
Yeah, I looked at the payroll yesterday. 340 people. We have working for us and we're responsible for it. We want to see them continue to be able to put food on the table for their families. But it's so necessary for them and what the job they do to help people on a day-to-day basis. It's so rewarding. I kind of told that story. I started a long time ago as a job developer, sitting in the back of the office that day at the courthouse. And, there had to be 10, 12 different people that this fella had to get through to get back to me. I was just back here filling out some reports and looked up and he's standing in front of my desk and I'm like, okay, how did you get back here? And he's like, are you Tim Yerkison? And I said, yes. And he said, well, I just wanted to meet you because of you getting me a job, I can feed my family. And I think that's why you do what you do. Because it's stories like that where this fella felt that it was important to him to try to figure out and meet the guy that made the difference in his life and his family's life. It's cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you started as a job developer here, right? I don't want to throw a date on you, but it was like 1980.
Well, we started, Private Industry Council organization as it is today started in 1983, but I actually began in October of 80 under what they call the Private Industry Council just of Westmoreland County. We ran Title VII. Of the CETA program, Comprehensive Employment and Training Administration, which in the 83 changed the federal law, changed over to the Job Training Partnership Act, JTPA, and that's where the Westmoreland Fayette County got formed together and we became Private Industry Council Westmoreland Fayette.
Yeah, I kind of alluded to this earlier. There's private industry councils sort of formed throughout the country
because of the Job Training Partnership Act. Yeah, all over the country it was private industry councils would operate the program, and the whole basis of it was that they wanted a board of directors that would be primarily private sector business people. 51% of the board had to be by mandate, and we hold that today, even though JTPA has gone away and the Workforce Investment Act has replaced it in 2000, and it's a different structure with we have a Westmoreland Fayette Workforce Investment Board and such. But we kept some of those same type of values alive here at PIC and what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
With all the folks we're trying to serve.
Definitely. So, do you have any more questions over
So I was gonna say, so now, you retiring on Friday, new CEO was announced, Shawan Martin. Any thoughts on Shawan?
Yeah, excited for Shawan. Shawan has a lot of energy. She's young. She's got a lot of good ideas. I'm asking the staff to get behind her. Real excited to see what she's going to do with the organization, where she can continue to grow it. I've always said that we've done a lot of succession planning in this organization, under my administration, and I've enjoyed the fact that this organization has grown over 21 years, and I trust and expect that Shawan will be good. Great choice by the board. Will help her. I'll help her in what I can in the transition. And get excited to see. She's got some good ideas, and we'll see where it goes.
Just looking here at her article, and it kind of seems like she was almost following similar footsteps to what you did. Like, started out as a case management specialist, kind of the same thing.
Yeah, she was in the EARN program, or with Spock at the time, single point of contact. It was helping folks coming through the Department of Welfare offices making the transition to work. And then that's important, I think, because it gives you that background so that, she knows what it's like to case manage, a family and individuals, maybe their employment search hasn't gone the way they necessarily wanted it to go. You have to make some changes and to work with businesses to help hire people and meet their needs. And you kind of work your way up through the system. And it helps because then you understand when you have your staff what they're feeling as far as different mandates come down, different types of goals and performance standards.
There's a lot of pressure.
It's a very unique. In fact, when we went through the search that Shawan got promoted for, and we had an outfit that was helping us try to find a new president CEO that came in and interviewed me and said, well, who's a competitor of yours, or is there an organization we can look at?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes us think that we can see the similarities, and I kind of responded by saying we can probably get about 3 organizations and put them together, and maybe
That's
because
what you would
obviously
get.
we handle early childhood education, Head Start, so you could go down to Washington County, talk to Blueprints or something about them, or you can go down with Washington, you have to go over and talk to Lisa, Amy Gas,
Southwest Corner,
mm-hmm. Southwest Training to talk about workforce development. And I said, and I'm not so sure who you go to talk about the Dad's Matter program.
Yeah.
Because there's not a whole lot of fatherhood initiatives out there. But as we spoke earlier, really excited about getting that contract back for another 5 years, and also being able to take it to other counties like Washington and Beaver, because they, again, kind of sort of like a personal promise I made to do local officials out there and continue to put resources.
Yeah. Just kind of, toot your horn there a little bit, Tim. I know I think when you first signed on, we were talking about this yesterday, it was about like $10 million in revenue we were bringing in for grants. Right. And now we're over 20.
Yeah, 23 million and I think the report that Collins, the cover page, cover story, it shows $23 million.
Yeah, so more than doubled it, so I'd say you did you're pretty
very proud of it. Like I said, all the folks that had an opportunity to help over the years, surely don't do it by ourselves.
Yeah.
We do it with a lot of partnerships. We do it with a lot of community groups helping us, businesses helping us. school districts, I mean, you know, you sit there, start naming things, and you can leave somebody out.
Yeah, right.
But it's for sure, the way to do it, to get it.
Yeah, we always say like even like Head Start's almost like the if you have 10 school districts in a county, it's like the 11th school district, or and that's how involved you are in the community and ingrained, and you're not
Yeah, I remember Dr. Shiva in 1994 told me that he was the superintendent of Ron School District at the time. Ron said, "Well, Timmy, you're like a 7 school district here in Fayette County.
Yeah.
You're just a little bit smaller. You have all the same issues that a school district has. Busing, food,
staffing. Yeah.
Everything's there. It just makes it a smaller scale."
Right. Yeah. So I know you're a big baseball fan, Tim, but you got any plans post-retirement here? Go a little road trip tour of the stadiums, or?
Well, we like Florida. COVID's kind of put a little bit of a crimp in those plans.
Yeah.
But obviously, we're looking forward to getting back down there. That's a family down there. That's places we like to hang out on. On the West Coast, on the Gulf side, and so we'll look forward to getting down there. Probably, starting next week, probably do some paint projects at the house or something of that nature.
Knock some things off the to-do list that might have been
or
hanging around for a little too long.
Go spend money somewhere.
Doing a little shopping spree, yeah.
To pick up a hobby.
Yeah. You're gonna have to go to a couple more Penn State football games maybe next year. Yeah, virtually. I'm not sure how it's gonna work. Yeah, no, you're a big Penn State fan, so I think that was great. I don't know, you have anything else you want to add? Maybe like a final message out there to PIC Nation?
Like Colin asked earlier, I just, saying to the staff, let's rally behind Sharon,
Definitely,
and,
yeah.
let's see what we can do even better than what we're doing now. I think we can always improve. And I think she's a good choice to take it.
Well, I don't know about you, Colin, but I kind of feel like privileged being here, out of the 340 employees that we have here, and I have a lot to thank you for personally as well, and just the short time I've been here, just on behalf of me and all the staff that are here, thank you.
Thank you too.
I went full circle. I was a product of Head Start, like I said, and, sat on that school bus division of private industry council. So, just like coming to apply here, and I remember my interview back in July 2018, because, you mentioned that during the interview, like, that you guys help out the community and like, you do make an impact.
Yeah, and that's what we're so proud of. Every day we're doing that, impacting people's lives. And I have you to thank because I'm on Twitter now.
So check him out on Twitter.
Check him out at TimYurk16.
TimYurk16, yeah. Got some pretty inspirational messages there.
Philosophical, I don't know about inspiration.
Yeah, maybe they'll get more philosophical after Friday, huh? Yeah. All right, well, I think that's going to wrap us up here. So it was a good show. We went about 48 minutes here, so a little longer than usual, but we had a lot to get to. So, all right.
Thank you so much.